Steven!
Yes.
Did we really need to see Mike Tyson's ass last night?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never seen someone so confident biting into a piece of toast after what I just said.
Look, man.
Do we need to see Mike Tyson's ass last night? Excuse me.
Absolutely. Yeah. We
Really?
needed to. Yeah. Because that was the most entertaining fight, or that was the most entertaining thing about that fight.
Dude, I didn't even watch it. I did not watch a second of it. At one point, I went to my Netflix and I was like, all right, let me see what's going on. I already knew the outcome, but I was like, I want to see how bad it was. And then Netflix, the way that they have it is you got to like fast forward all the way to the fucking end.
Yeah.
5 hours in, I was like, I'm not doing this shit. And everyone says it was a terrible fight, so why would I waste my time?
I had nothing going on, really. So, I mean, I had the Warriors game on. I had it on my phone.
But you just watched it live?
I just watched it on the phone live. Yeah, I kept on putting my head down and seeing if anyone got knocked out. I didn't really like watch it intently, but kind of figured like after the first round, if Tyson didn't knock him down, at least do something, maybe the first two, then he like wouldn't have had a chance just because he would have been too tired. And he wasn't throwing anything in the third through the eighth round. So that sucked. We all got bamboozled. Led astray.
Well, what? Okay, hold on. And I love all the adjectives you're using. But what did you expect?
Huh?
What did you expect?
I was hoping with a slim glimmer, with a light glimmer of hope, I was hoping that Tyson would knock him out.
Yeah, but were you expecting like a good fight? It's Jake,
No.
like when Jake Paul fought Floyd Mayweather. My little brother made me watch, and I was like, "This is stupid."
You mean Logan Paul? I think it was Logan who fought Floyd.
Whatever, same person.
Yeah, dude, it was a waste, and I just don't know how Jake Paul keeps getting away with it, because it's like, dude, you're 27 years old and you're not willing to fight any like real actual fighters. And I know this was like a made for TV spectacle, but I'm not gonna act like I'm the one who thought about this, but someone tweeted it. I think it was Mike Sando. But he said
Sando.
He said Lyle Alzado versus Muhammad Ali was better than this, and that was a charity match.
Dude, have you seen those?
Yeah.
God damn, that is my favorite by far. You know I'm a sucker for football lives. The Lyle Alzado episode is by far the best, where he is talking about how he and Muhammad Ali went in the ring. Man.
Yeah.
And he's just like the impression of like, I'll kill him. I swear to God, I'll kill him. And yeah, dude. And you ever see Lyle Alzado's workout video where he's like working out with like 2 milk jugs? He's like, all right, we're going to do war with the weights.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an all-time one, man. But that was better. That was better because it seemed like Alzado actually wanted to kill him. I don't know. I was also
Lyle Alzado actually had some boxing experience.
Look, and I got to admit, I was fooled by the build up to it, because at first I'm like, oh, this is stupid. I'm not going to watch this shit. What is this? This is and yes, AJ Cruz, Alzado did fight Ali in a charity match.
It was when he was with the Denver Broncos. They fought at old Mile High Stadium in like the summertime.
Yeah.
It was an exhibition.
Yeah. Check it out. It's really great. But I was fooled because like at first I'm like, this is all just going to be fake. This is just a money ploy. But then in the week leading up to it, Tyson seemed like he was back to his old days, where he had just a shade of red in his vision, and he's just always seeing red and wanted to murder people. Like that's the vibe I got from Tyson in the lead up to it. And I didn't watch like the stupid Netflix documentary, the Countdown or whatever it was called. And I did watch the clip where Tyson's like, he's a manufactured killer. I'm a natural born killer. There's a difference. And it's like, and I'm like, oh shit, I might want to watch this. So
yeah,
I was fooled. And I don't know. I mean, look, I don't deny that Jake Paul's actually got some boxing skill. I think you're just, I think you're just trying to cope with the idea if you don't admit that he has skill. But God, I find that guy annoying. I can't get, to me, he'll always just be Logan Paul's annoying little brother from the Vine days. Like that's just all in. That's all he is to me. So like
Yeah.
with all this, it's just I don't know. The state of boxing could not be in a worse spot right now.
Well, I didn't see it really as a sporting event. I see it more as a circus attraction because that's kind of what Netflix is pushing out these days is the things that you want to see, but like 5 years later, like the Joey Chestnut versus Kobayashi, and Joey Chestnut killed him. Now I watched it because I love that shit, but you know, whatever. That's the last time I'll ever watch a hot dog eating competition. The rest of it's going to be lame.
Yeah.
And then that, like I had no interest. I'll be completely honest. Jake Paul, Logan Paul, whoever he is, I find him annoying. But good for him. He's trying something new. Tyson, look, I understand he's an incredible boxer, and I'm not one to call out people for past transgressions or anything. I'm not a cancel culture guy. But I do find it interesting why we still praise this guy and not acknowledge what he's done. I find that very interesting, and I'm not one to always like point the finger, like look at what this guy did in the past. But Mike Tyson was charged with rape, and we just kind of give it a pass for whatever reason. And I don't know. I still find it very uneasy
because he's kind of come out and hasn't he addressed all of it?
Yeah, but it's not great. And if you've seen the interview with Barbara Walters. He basically, to quote Mike Tyson, I didn't touch that bitch. Like, that's the way he addressed it. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess compared to like Diddy and Harvey Weinstein, it's child's play.
Man, separate situations.
No, but like I get where you're going though. Like I'm just that was a bad joke. I get where you're going though, and it's just because he gets a pass just because like the sport of boxing hasn't had a superstar in forever, and it feels like he was the last superstar. I know Canelo is Canelo, but I think Tyson was like worldwide. Boxing I think still has a very niche audience now. And and I think that boxing fans have been craving to see Tyson back in the ring. So I don't know. I get it. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. Well, it's just interesting because I would have thought Mike Tyson would have killed him, but I guess at 60 years old, some people thought it was nothing. Like your boy Dana White, I saw in an interview, I guess with RG3, was like, he fought an old man, and that's all that Jake Paul or Logan Paul, whoever it is, wants to fight. He wants to fight old people. So, but I get like that's part of the attraction of it. So. Whatever. It's fun for, the spectacle of sport and Netflix. They're at Jerry's World, Jerry Jones, not caring about how his Cowboys team sucks, doing interviews with Michael Irvin. Cedric the Entertainer's there for whatever reason. It seems like a clown show.
I was actually going to ask you that. I was going to ask you that. Did you see that they had boxing luminaries and Cedric the Entertainer and Rosie Perez? Actually, Rosie Perez is like a huge boxing fan, so I kind of get it.
Ooh, you best believe.
Dan Lebitard used to have her on as their boxing correspondent.
I like boxing. I ain't stupid. That's my Rosie Perez.
Nice.
Thank you. Just your opinion, man. Stephen Langford, Derek Papa. Speaking of clown shows, should we talk about me?
Oh, sure.
Okay. First and foremost, I want to say that I was completely honored to be a part of Tom Tolbert's last show. That was awesome. And Tom and Tim gave me praise for Tim Webb, his board op for a very long time, gave me praise for getting the guest list together. It was not that hard to do. When you tell people it's Tom Tolbert's last show, people are lining up to do the show. I even had to turn some friends away of the show, and I apologize for that. Just there wasn't enough time. So it was awesome. And to hear the things, all the nice things that Tom said about everyone, including me and Adam and Tim, it was fantastic. And I will miss him dearly. And 28 years at KMBR, man, that is incredible. I remember being in the car with my dad, driving around, and he had the Razor and Mr. T on. And I'd always ask my dad, who's this Joe Pesci sounded dude on the radio? And that was Ralph Barbieri, because he'd be like, Tom, what are you talking? And I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was funny. I got to meet Tom when I was about 10 years old. My dad and Tom were doing college basketball games together. And I think it was at Stanford or Cal, whatever it was. And my dad had the just cringe line, and it was like around this time of when the movie came out. But he makes the reference of, well, tonight it's Legally Bald, as me and Tom Tolbert call little college basketball. And I could see Tom roll his eyes at the joke. But no, man, and God, 3 years ago, I remember interviewing for the job at KMBR, and Tom called me, and he wanted to know what I'm about. And I told him, you know, I'm a laid back dude. I like to have fun. I like goofy segments, and I'm not gonna, you know, force you to be anything you don't want to be. And he was like, all right, that's all I need to hear, man. And then we went from there, and he trusted me. And there were times, you know, where radio's changed. It is not the same thing that I got into or you got into, you know, at the beginning. It's changed. You're seeing it now. You're seeing it. This product of radio is dying a slow death. And so we see a lot of friends lose their jobs. And now people want podcasts. That's why I wanted to start this thing. And you have to be focused. You have to talk about, it's really, the formula is, and I have no problem saying this, it's really not who's on the radio, it's what you're talking about on the radio. And that's kind of what matters these days. So, you know, you never want to see a legend like Tom Tolbert leave. And I didn't want that, and nobody wanted that. Especially, you know, the timing was terrible. The day after Klay Thompson's return, I wanted to hear Tom's opinion about that.
Right.
So we said our goodbyes, and I thanked him for everything. And I talked to him a lot about the future. And he could not be more supportive of me. So before I say anything, I want to say this. Steven, this show, what you and I are doing, is really important to me.
Yeah.
And I never want that to go away. So we've been doing this now for like 3 years now, and I really love doing it. I look forward to it. I want to build it. I want to make it, you know, bigger and everything and grow. And yeah, I don't want this to ever end. I hope you don't either.
I do not.
Okay. So it won't be going away. Just your opinion, man, is going to be here to stay. But it's been a weird mix of emotions this week, because obviously they brought me in on Wednesday to tell me that they're moving on from Tom, and that was heartbreaking. And then they said to me, would you like to take over as the new co-host of the show? And I was like, what? Me? Why me? What, is there somebody behind me? You're not talking? Like, why me? Me, Derek Papa, the guy that's never been on the radio before. I've been on, you know, Caboose Pistol, you know, whatever. You want me to do drive time radio? Wow. And I was blown away. And crazy enough, I asked why? And they were like, well, we've seen what you've done. And we've seen you do the off-air podcast on KMBR. And we've seen this show. And I was like, wow, I can't believe that. And let's be real too. Why? Because I'm cheap. I'm a real cheaper option. So let's be honest about that. But I had to think about it, because that is something that I've never thought of before. And believe me, I am grateful for the opportunity. I am so grateful for the opportunity. But I've never dreamed about this in my life. I always thought I'd be behind the scenes guy or do my podcast, but I never thought I'd be on the air. That's something I've never thought of. I always thought I'd be the comic relief, all that shit. So I thought about it, and I wrestled with it. I texted Steven, and I was like, dude, this is crazy. So then I saw John Lund in the hallway, and I told him about Tom, and we were sad about that. And he said, "What's next?" And I told him what they offered me, and he was like, "Oh my God, dude, that's a once in a lifetime opportunity." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I have to think about it." And he goes, "What's there to think about, dude? Come on, this is awesome." And I was like, "Yeah, but and this is just me. I believe me, I will be when the day comes." I will be more confident, but I have had a lot of self-doubt about what people are going to say and how this is going to be perceived of, oh, it's Derek Papa filling in for Tom Tolbert after 28 years on the radio, a nobody. And it's Greg Papa's son, nepotism at its finest. And you could always say, oh, block out the haters. That shit gets to you, but you have to block out the noise. So I was walking around the studio and I saw Lund and I told him, I don't know if I could do this. And Lund, man, I'll never forget this. Lund gave me the most confidence I've ever had in my life, just saying all the right things to me.
Mm.
And then not 2 hours later, he was fired. So that hurt, because I would always, if I was doing this job and he was around, you best believe I would ask him questions every day of how to get better. And I still will. He's a friend of mine. He's my mentor. I will always be in contact with John Lund. And I've talked to a bunch of people. I reached out to my man Bonte Hill. I reached out to Guy Haberman. Had drinks with Rick Tittle and Daryl the Guru Johnson and Matt Steinmetz, and they could not have been more supportive of me. And that means a lot.
Yeah.
Because this is no doubt scary. And so, yeah, after thinking about it for a couple days, I wanted to wait. I accepted the role, and I'm going to be hosting Drive Time Radio with Adam Copeland on KNBR. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm supposed to do like a round of applause when it's just myself.
Yeah, it sounds kind of lame when it's just one person.
Phoebe, clap. There you go. Yeah.
Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah, Starbucks.
Want we get Starbucks orders?
No, she was gonna get a Starbucks after she got out of the shower. She forgot.
Yeah, get a iced tea or iced coffee that John Gruden gets these days now.
Oh yeah, he loves that.
Got me feeling icy. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind of emotions, and I'm happy to do it with Adam Copeland and Tim Webb. They've been like brothers to me since I've started this job.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to start with them. And I wanted to wait because Copes is going to be going to Hawaii, and I didn't want to start our first shows where he's on remote, and it's weird like that. And then we got 2 shows before Thanksgiving, so I said, let's wait till Thanksgiving. And believe me, I know it's a difficult position to put the likes of, Kerry Crowley and Dieter Kurtenbach and Carlos Ramirez. And I know this is selfish of me to ask this of them, but I really thank them for doing this. And I want to thank I want to thank you guys in the chat, even Tacky, Eat Shit, for being really supportive, because I'm going to need you guys. But I can't wait to do this. I'm going to explain to people who I am. I'm going to be me. I'm not going to be Tom Tolbert. I never will be. And I'm just hoping that I can put on a good show for everybody. And, it's not lost on me, on other people that have really grinded in radio and being on nights and weekends and all of that. Guys like you, Steven, you grinded at 5 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm leapfrogging people that probably deserve this more than me. But I'm going to jump at the opportunity to do it because it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I can't wait to get started. And I'll just say this. I know I'm rambling, and it's not. This show's not about me. It's about us. So I'll finish up real quick. I saw yesterday that Conan O'Brien's going to host the Oscars coming this March. And I'm like, yeah, I love Conan. And I've been really thinking about inspiration of how I'm going to go about this.
Yeah.
So you seem skeptical. Yeah.
Conan
when he did Late Night with Conan O'Brien back in 1993,
Yeah.
he was a complete nobody. He was writing for The Simpsons and Saturday Night Live.
Sorry, Tacky got me with the rambling like
Rambling like a
true
true papa. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Tacky. Eat shit. But yeah, Conan, when he got the Tonight Show, or not the Tonight Show, but Late Night with Conan O'Brien, he's my by far my favorite late night host, and I love his style. I love his comedy. He started the show when he was 30 years old, and he was a complete nobody. He was a writer on The Simpsons, Saturday Night Live, and they just gave it to him. Lorne Michaels was like, "I want you to do it." He was like, "What, me? What the? No, I can't do this."
Yeah.
And I've been watching his opening monologue, his first night when he did the show, and he's nervous as hell. He's shaking. And fast forward to now, he's hosting the Oscars. And I'm not saying I'm Conan O'Brien, but I hope that has been like a really big source of, material for me to say like this can be done. So thank you to everybody. I start December 2nd.
Hell yeah.
To all of you that, have things to say, you can say whatever you want. I don't care. I'm going to go into this with the best, mindset and intentions and do a kick-ass show with Adam Copeland. And whatever happens, happens. But I'm ready for it.
As you should be, man. I'm so happy for you. I can't wait to. I mean, not going to say I'll listen every day, but I will as much as possible, and I'll be in the chat probably, just badgering you.
Yeah, I'm sure
dude. But like the whole, there's other people that are deserving of this job. I mean, that's how it is in radio. Like every gig that you get, there's probably always someone who quote unquote deserves it more. But the fact is, you are the guy that they want. The bosses chose you, and like I think that's something you should take with you. Like, yeah, I struggled with that when I first got on the air. Like to be honest, I felt like I was too young. I thought like in sports radio, the culture is like you're talking to 25 to 54. Well, I'm like 26 years old. Like I'm talking to the youngest of the young in this demographic here.
Yeah.
But like eventually you get a couple of shows in, and I remember like one time I talked to Coase about it, and he's just like, "Hey man, you belong. Like you're here. The boss has picked you. You're here. You're doing it. Like, so just do the show. Don't worry about all of this, whether you deserve to be here or not." So I think that's kind of the mindset you need to take. And there probably is going to be, that outside noise. There is. I mean, there's no sugarcoating it.
No, there already is. But
there already is. And
it is what it is. It is what it is.
And like, like if it's because Tom's a huge deal. And listening to that last show, I watched pretty much every interview that you guys had on. I watched it on YouTube yesterday, and it's hard to cultivate those relationships, but start to do that now. I don't know, make yourself stand out. Ask him some wacky stuff.
Oh, it's going to be wacky. We can't do the same show we did before. Tom's not around anymore, and we love him, and we will honor him as much as possible. But it's a new show, and we have Tom's blessing. And that meant a lot to me when I called him and told him what's up. And he said, "Dude, go for it, man." So here we go. Here we go.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yep.
Kyle Shanahan's still going to be on?
It was funny because in his interview, he's like, "Oh, man, I didn't want to do this next week." And I'm like, well, that gives me some time. I got 2 weeks to convince him. Yeah, you know what? I'll say this too. For anybody that's expecting me to like grill guests, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm going to be me. I'm going to be goofy ass Derek Papa. I'm going to be the same old guy. There's going to be goofy segments. There's going to be bits. There's going to be fake commercials. There's going to be Steven as John Gruden. Oh, yeah.
What?
It's going to be something totally different. I have a name in mind. I'm not going to share it until Copes and Tim are 100% with me on it. It's not going to be Copes and Papa or Little Papa or DP, whatever the fuck. No, it's going to have its own name. It's going to be different. So, yeah. Like I said, here we go, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ready to talk some Giants baseball or what?
Then I'm going to have to learn. But I will say this to all the Giants fans and Niners fans: I will be as fair as possible about your teams, but I'm not a fanboy. And I'm not going to be a homer. I'm going to be me. I'm Derek from the East Bay. I grew up rooting for the A's, Raiders, and Warriors, and those teams aren't around anymore. But I'm not going to be a homer either.
Well,
So
yeah.
I'm just going to be fair.
And if you were going to try, like, people could see right through that.
Yeah.
Listeners can, I guess, like, hear right through that. But listeners can tell. Listeners can tell if you're not being your authentic self. And I think that might be even like I think that could work really with Copes, because I know he's a big Giants guy. I'm sure he's a big Niners guy too, right? And then so
He is.
Having two different kind of voices, opposites styles make fights, they say. So these styles can work in radio. Yeah, it's exciting, man.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right, enough about me. Let's talk about Thursday Night Football. Which was kind of like, I'll admit, this week has been a blur. So like any sports, I've like, what happened? Anthony Melton sprained his ACL. I didn't even see that. Randy wins in the Giants front office now. Okay, I missed that. Sorry. And then Thursday night rolled around. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even set my fantasy lineup. I didn't make my picks in my pick'em pool. Good Lord. Yeah. Eagles Commanders was a big time game between two NFC East opponents, and it was kind of a snoozer for most of it until the fourth quarter, where the Eagles scored 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
And this is what happens, Nick Sirianni, when you don't kick field goals. Your kicker gets a little rusty, and he missed 3 field goals, 2 field goals, 1 PAT. Saquon Barkley running all over the place. Jalen Hurts getting back from concussion. Devontae Smith not doing shit for me in fantasy. But I will say the game turned when the game was 12-10, and the Commies decided to go for it on a 4th and 2 from their own 26. And once they didn't pick that up, the game was over. So, yeah, I'd say Eagles, I think they're actually in the conversation right now for being in the contender category for NFC teams. I think it's them, the Lions. I don't know about the Vikings anymore. I still throw the Packers in there, and I can't say the Niners until they have a really resounding win. 4-4, they beat the Bucks barely. You got to wait on that one. But I would say the Commanders, losing 2 in a row right now, they're going to be a playoff team, I believe, but they're not like it's one of those teams where they're just starting out. Jaden Daniels is a rookie. He'll probably be offensive rookie of the year, but there's a lot to grow there. So yeah, probably Dan Quinn's your coach of the year, but I don't see them beating any big name teams, or big time teams, I should say, and moving on in the playoffs like that.
That's the thing, is they are the definition of a middle of the pack team. They are one that's they're not among the worst. They'll beat up on the bad teams, but they keep losing to the good ones. Look at any of their losses this year. It was the Buccaneers at the start of the season, when you're like, oh, the Bucs, they could be for real here. A loss to the Steelers, obviously, last week, a loss to the Eagles, and they lost to the Ravens. So, like, these are all teams that could contend. And, I think that just shows you right there where the Commanders are. I still think the Commanders have a really bright future, but this isn't the year when, Jaden Daniels is going to take them as far as, say, like a CJ Stroud type or anything like that. So, and the Eagles, to me, they're just different. Like, I think they are back in the contending conversation, but it's specifically because of Saquon Barkley. He changes up everything for that offense. I think they're really starting to get things rolling now, and they're also starting to get healthy.
Sorry, I was just laughing at Tacky. He's giving me shit because I'm going to spew Jordan Love on the show all the time. Niners beat the Seahawks 37-10, but Jordan Love looked great in his pants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I probably will say that. Yeah. Yeah, no, dude, I'm with you. I think that, yeah, like I said, Eagles, they're rising up. Commanders, they're mid-level right now. So yeah, we'll see where it goes.
But they need to, because I know Saquon had an awesome game, but he could have had more touchdowns. They need to change up the idea that Jalen Hurts is the only guy that runs when you're inside the 3-yard line.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
If Saquon gets down to the 1, give Saquon the ball to get into the end zone. And I'm not just saying that because I have him on a fantasy team. Like, it'd be better serving for the Eagles if they did that instead of always doing the tush push. I think it would keep Jalen Hurts a little bit more healthy, save some of his energy. Put it on Saquon, man. You got one of the best backs in the league in his prime.
Yeah, no. No, I'm sorry. I'm getting text. Sorry.
Text from Texas as they are playing Arkansas right now.
Yeah, what's the score right now?
13-7.
Oh, shit. Come on. You're making me nervous while I watch this. I'm doing this podcast. No, dude, I'm with you. I can't stand them always resorting to doing the tush push.
Right.
It's getting old, and it's not as effective as it was before.
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey was the man. And I love that, I guess his thing was whenever he would do it, he would just put his head down and go, fuck my life. And now Cam Jurgens is the guy in the middle, and it's not as good. And also, Jalen Hurts is getting his body beat up. You have a running back that's very good on the goal line. They had a good goal line back last year, and Rashad Penny, and never used him for whatever reason. They need to change it up a little bit. And Nick Sirianni didn't really do any dumb shit. It was just the missed field goal. So yeah, Eagles won, Commanders lose. I think that the Eagles, we'll see how they handle who they got coming up. They play the Ravens in a couple weeks, so that'll be a true test. I think they've played some good teams here or there, but that'll be a big one to go into Baltimore and see how they handle that one.
I mean, they got wins over the Browns, Giants, Bengals, Jags, Cowboys, and Commanders, and then the Saints and the Packers. Their only losses to the Falcons and the Buccaneers. So the NFC South is their kryptonite.
Yeah, and Falcons are a good team right now, you would say, but Bucks are trending in the wrong direction. So yeah, we'll see.
Well, the Bucks were really good early on. First 4 weeks,
and injuries have definitely plagued them a little bit.
Yeah,
or a lot of it actually. 4 losses in a row.
Yeah, the fact that we also don't have a run game with Rashad White,
Bucky Irving, or who's the other guy? Sean Tucker. Sean Tucker must die, as Tom would say. What do you think about Gardner Minshew being the starting QB again?
Doesn't help Antonio Pierce's case. This is going to be bad. What was the point of signing Desmond Ridder? Like, dude, I
have a backup while Aiden O'Connell's still hurt.
I forget that the Raiders are even still playing. Like, the bye week came around, and normally around a bye week, at least in the past, I'm like, oh, man, I got no Raiders. I got to watch all the rest of the NFL. Fine. This year, I was like, I don't care. I'm glad they have the week off. I don't want to see this team lose again. But it just keeps becoming more and more clear that they're probably going to draft Shedeur, and like that's who they'll have moving forward. But now I'm seeing something like that him and his dad are going to be a package deal.
No, that can't happen. That can't happen. For the same reason I don't want to do a show with my father anymore. Dion cannot be around Shedeur. He needs to do his own thing.
Yeah. But I also don't know how Dion's going to handle NFL, being an NFL head coach. When you're under scrutiny every week, you're going to be calling into radio shows, and the radio shows might grill you. They're not going to do it for the Colorado Buffaloes radio station, but they might do it if, say, you're a Dallas Cowboys guy and you got to go on with the same dudes who have Jerry Jones call into their show every week. Like, you're going to have to answer questions, and I don't think that Dion really – I mean, I know he's the best athlete that we've ever seen, but we've also seen how he handles the media in Colorado, and having journalists just banishing them from the locker room just because you don't want them to, because they might have written a little something that's negative. Now, granted, I'll say the reporter did go a little over the top. It felt like the reporter was personal with some of his stuff, but you're not going to get that much. You're not going to get personal in professional sports. You might, but very rarely are you going to get that. You're going to get people who are critical, and I don't know if he's ready for that.
Yeah, but Dion's been in the NFL. I think that college coaches are able to have their ego show a little bit more, and they get away with it for whatever reason. The NFL, that shit doesn't fly. The reporters will come back at you. And Dion's been in this league, and I think he knows how he can handle or how he can act and not act. So
yeah,
I would say Dion should not be looking to jump ship from Colorado to go coach the NFL. Now, if he wants to coach a bigger program in college football, by all means. If you want to do Florida State, that makes sense. But I don't see him going to the NFL. I don't think that's the right move. Like I saw the other day, like Stephen A. Smith being like, I think that the Cowboys should take and get Shador and Dion. Really? You just signed Dak Prescott to a huge fucking deal. How's that going to work? So I think Dion needs to be a mentor and everything possible for Shador's success in the NFL, but being his coach at the next level, that would not go over well. It's one thing with LeBron and Bronny to do that together. That would not be a good look.
I agree. And I mean, what the Lakers are doing is just like not playing him in road games in the G League. Like, why?
He's an attraction. He's an attraction.
It's a bad look all around. But I get where you're coming from. And I don't want them both being a part of the Raiders, but I'm just saying that's what the reports are. I don't want it to happen.
Can you imagine if that does happen?
Be very Raiders of them, yes.
It would be very Raiders. I think the best way to do it is to get Pat Shurmur to be the OC. That's fine with me. But to get Dion as the head coach, no. Like I would like, you know, I've been campaigning for Mike Vrabel. But there's also the possibility that I don't know what's going to happen with the Jets. Aaron Rodgers says he's coming back for another season, but does Woody Johnson, is he jumping ship to go work with Trump again? And then the new owner or the interim owner is like, nah, no Rodgers anymore. And then that job's less appealing. By the way, like Jeff Ulbrich, he's losing that team fast. You see, like he put together like montages or PowerPoints on how to tackle, and Sauce Gardner was like, we know how to tackle, bro. Like, this is a waste of our time.
That's not good.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to go on there. I could see Vrabel if they keep Rodgers. I could see him being like, okay, I'll coach the Jets, or Mike McCarthy. I think that might be maybe a little too much because I don't know how Rodgers feels about him these days. But I would see like the Raiders going out for like Brian Flores. Now that would take some massaging to do because he did sue the league. But I'd be down for Brian Flores. Brady knows him. But the Dion thing, no thank you. And by the way, hanging out with Rick Tittle last night, I thought that this is his take. He thinks that Shador is like Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I was like, no, bro. Shador can throw.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson from UCLA?
Yeah.
What does he think that for?
I don't know. I was like, dude, I love you, man. I love you, Rick, but that's a bad take. Shador could actually throw the football.
Right.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson has a hard time throwing the football.
Correct.
Yeah. Quick other NFL stories. Micah Parsons. We didn't talk about this last time. And if you can, Steven, pull up the audio if you can find it of him. You saw what he said about Mike McCarthy, right?
Yes.
And they talked it out, as Mike McCarthy said. They talked like men behind closed doors. But,
we are talking about the post-game clip, right?
Yes, we're talking about the post-game clip where they asked him about Mike McCarthy's future.
All right.
And he's got it. All righty.
I'm coming back.
Mike's on the final year of his contract, so outside there's, of course, going to be questions. What's the sentiment inside the locker room, and what do you tell people who are wondering about whether McCarthy will be your coach next year?
That's above my pay grade about if Mike is coaching again next year. But, all coaching aside, Mike can leave and go wherever he wants. But guys, I kind of feel bad for guys like Zach Martin and guys who might be on their last year or on their way out, because that's who I wanted to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great things with those type of legends who put in more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did. So those are the kind of guys that I have so much sympathy and hurt for.
You guys were too. Oof.
I know what he's trying to say, but the way he phrased it was piss poor.
It was.
You can't say, I could give a damn about Mike McCarthy. He could figure out his own life. I'm thinking about my teammates. I get what you're saying, that Mike McCarthy will always have a job somewhere, whether it's in coaching or TV or whatever he decides to do later on. And you're more focused about the future of your teammate, your Cowboys teammates. But to act like you don't give a damn and act like Mike McCarthy didn't work hard enough, that's a bad look. So I'm glad they talked, but I I respect what Rex Ryan and everybody said on Get Up the next day. And Mike, this is the problem with Micah Parsons and all these athletes having podcasts is you say these things, and then he didn't say it on a podcast, but you think you could say whatever you want to the media and then act like that's cap. Man, you guys are taking it out of context. No, it's right there. It's right there. It's on video. So don't act like they twisted your words or whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, but he told people to go tune into his podcast afterward to hear the full explanation. So if you tuned into that, you probably got the real of what he was trying to say, aka now I've had like a day to think about it, and now I could say the right things. It's a bad immediate answer to that question, but it just shows that the Cowboys are a dumpster fire, man, and they always have been. They always will be. It's the Cowboys, dude. The Cowboys, the Jets, the Bears, and the Raiders.
Yeah, the best way that I've heard it phrased this week was when our guy Ray Ratto came on with Tom, and he's like, some franchises are just they just French kiss Satan, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah, French kiss by Satan. Yep.
That was a great that was a great quote.
It's an amazing line. I think the Bears can get out of it, to be honest, out of those three. But the Jets and the Cowboys are two teams where nothing just seems to go right. And the fact that they gave Dak a contract extension, they were stuck. They were in the same place that the Raiders were with Derek Carr. Dak's a good quarterback at times, but he's also been prone to get overwhelmed. And we've seen what he does in the playoffs. So they're just a dumpster fire, man. And Micah Parsons, I get where he's going there. Whatever. He's outspoken and he's brash, and I like that in a player. But I just was more bothered by him saying, tune into my podcast to figure out more what I was saying. Like, what?
Yeah, that's lame.
What? Speaking of that clip, though, Zach Martin might be on his way out. Look, dude, if the Raiders are going to have a quarterback, they need to get an offensive line. And I was looking at their offensive line, and I'm good with Jackson Powers-Johnson at safety. Colton Miller, I think, has like a couple of years left on his deal, and I don't think you could just take the left tackle away from him. And right tackle, DJ Glaze was a third-round pick. I think they probably stick with him there. I don't know what they think of him. But as far as guard, that's where everything's just completely up in the air. And if they sign Zach Martin, I'd be feeling all right.
That's not a bad pickup. We'll see.
There's not a lot of. I was looking at the offensive line market, dude. That's where the Raiders have me. That's where I'm at with the Raiders. I was looking at the market for offensive linemen, and at right tackle, there's not many. Mekhi Becton might be one, but he's been a left tackle, and there's not many out there.
Well, I think he's playing right guard for the Eagles right now.
Is he?
Yeah,
I know he's an offensive lineman. At this point, OL is what he's designated as.
He's a jack of all trades.
I spent way too much time looking up Mekhi Becton's snap positions, how many snaps he's played at each position. That's what I was looking up for one day.
Dude, I'll be looking at all that shit more and more now.
Yeah, like if you're going to build the offensive line, do it with a guy who could. Honestly, he's probably not going to be a Hall of Famer, but he has Hall of Fame type numbers. Zach Martin does. So
yeah, no, definitely. I honestly have a hard time believing that the Cowboys wouldn't sign him back.
Yeah, I know, right?
But then again, they have to sign Micah Parsons, so I don't know. They might do a rebuild around those three guys: Dak, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons.
Yeah. Although, you know what? I'll say this. Even though Micah Parsons probably shouldn't have said that, Mike McCarthy hasn't been a good coach. Like that was a mistake hire. He's okay.
Well, hold on. He's better than what people think of him, though. People think that he's some bumbling oaf. And I think that's the perception that people get because Aaron Rodgers has said things about him in the past. I'll tell you what, though, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Mike McCarthy is hired by the Jets if they were really trying to appease Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying, dude. But I think he's better than some. Like, what was it a couple years ago, the Mojo thing where people were like, you sound like an idiot.
Yes.
And there's some questionable decisions during games, but he's not like an idiot. Like, I think he can, like, yes, he hasn't had the success that they were hoping for with the Dallas Cowboys, but is he better than a lot of head coaches? Yeah, I'd say so.
Sure, but it doesn't seem like he's the right fit for any team in this day and age now.
I can't say that, but he's not the right fit for the Dallas Cowboys right now.
No.
And
if you're going to call out a coach, do it. Maybe it's not the best way to go about it, but I can understand if it's Mike McCarthy and you're frustrated with how the season's going.
yeah, and Jerry Jones has always loved coaches that have head coaching experience, whether it's college or pro. So if I had to guess, I'd say Belichick's is number one, maybe Vrabel 2, and I would think Lincoln Riley probably is 3.
Wow.
Even though he's having a horrendous season with USC right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll see about that. All right, lastly, Anthony Richardson is back starting for the Colts. I thought they kind of pulled the plug too quick on Joe Flacco, but he did throw a lot of interceptions. And that is – we already talked about this. I already said that Jim Irsay – yeah, never mind. All right, already brought it up. Sorry, it's been a long week, everybody.
Oh, really?
All right, well, let's talk about the new hire at Barstool Sports.
Oh, that guy.
John Gruden. And – God, what has it been just like one day on the job where he was on like every show?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dude, he is a content machine. Do you have all the clips, Steven?
I will have to. Well, I got messaged a bulk of them from multiple people. Which one do you want?
I think the one that I think the 3 ones that you and I were looking at. It's the one. There's him like going through like all the questions he asks. I guess like people at the scouting combine, and people are like tagging it or putting it on social media. Like, this is what I ask girls on first dates.
Yes.
There's him talking about going to PF Chang's with Mark Davis, and then there's him yelling about the analytics guy while they're doing the live stream of the Commanders and Eagles.
All right. We'll go with the first one.
Okay.
Thank you. This is great. Coffee. Got it.
Oh, we need that too, of him getting the iced coffee.
And iced coffee. Yeah, shout out. You know what? Before we get started.
Okay.
John Gruden obviously had his emails exposed. And those emails showed some racist, misogynistic. I'm not going to say homophobic because I don't think there was any homophobia in there necessarily. But he was gatekeeping the NFL, right?
Mm-hmm.
He absolutely was. And it sounded like he was pretty jealous of people who were getting jobs over him, and actually still sounds like he's pretty salty with people who have jobs over him. But I think that the punishment that's been given is appropriate for him. He hasn't been allowed back in the NFL as a head coach, but if he wants to keep on making content, like, I'm not going to be one to say, well, look, what about those emails? Oh, like, it's like the stuff, like, of course he's going to Barstool. Barstool only employs white people, that kind of thing. But I'm willing to kind of move past Gruden as a head coach because I don't think he deserves a head coaching position after that. But I do absolutely think he deserves to be kind of in the media and doing a sports media type deal.
Yeah, I think I don't give him a pass on anything. I think that I've always said I don't condone anything he wrote in those emails. However, I'm not naive to think that he's the first head coach to talk like that behind closed doors.
Right. That's also true.
He got caught, and he was stupid for sending emails to Bruce. Damn it, what's his name? Who's my guy? Bruce Allen.
It was Bruce Allen.
Bruce Allen with the then Redskins, and he sent on his ESPN email like John.Gruden@ESPN.com or John.Gruden@Disney.com, whatever the fuck it was. So yes, and I don't condone any of those things, obviously, but can people grow? Can people mature? Can people learn from their mistakes? Absolutely, and I think enough time has passed. So yeah, let him be goofy John Gruden on Barstool. But Steven, I'm also not naive to think that he's going to get an opportunity to be a head coach somewhere, and I don't think it's going to be in the NFL. Right. I know Boomer Esiason was like, I'm hearing rumors that someone's going to hire John Gruden, maybe like an offensive coordinator. He's got to build himself up again. I think he could get a college head coaching job. I can see that, but back in the NFL after he sued the league and basically Roger Goodell got him axed. No, I don't see that happening.
Well, Mike Gundy's still coaching in college football. So, you let Gruden coaching up. By the way, there's some random random video here, and we'll go with the Gruden stuff. But I just looked up Mike Gundy. I just typed him in the search bar.
Mhm.
And the first thing that popped up, Mike Gundy headbutted by cattle, says he had a bad eye in Zoom video press conference. So we'll get to that at the end. Mike Gundy headbutted by cattle.
Is that recently?
That's from mid-October.
I'm surprised I missed that one.
I was on vacation, so I missed it. All right.
Yeah.
So first one. Yeah, this little compilation video. I mean, it's talking about the combine.
Yeah.
People are really running with this.
What's your vertical? Can you just touch your toes and show me your flexibility? How would you cover Kelsey on an option route? How would you play the technique if I said play a cloud corner? What's your background in football? What would you do if you were a defensive end? You're a left tackle. How big are your feet? Let me see your three-point stance. Do a little W drill. Get your hands out of your pockets. Act like you're throwing a bomb. Let's reevaluate. Be a fullback. I clap my hands. You start your throwing motion. God, this has got to be my tight end, right?
Yeah.
But you have to be able to block the C gap. Let's see the three-point stance. Face that wall. Why banana? Nobody wants to be a guard anyways. Fire! I don't like her attitude. You are nose tackle.
Yep.
Dude, this gives me flashbacks of him on the practice field on the NFL films where he's like, come on, you're like my wife when she gets lost in space.
You're like my wife when she gets in space. You just get lost.
You just get lost. Yeah, that was
Oh
it.
my God. Yeah. You got to
Yeah.
build the blocks.
You ever seen A Big Beautiful Mansion? Like, yeah, dude, like he's
all time.
He's a content machine, man. He's that's like play the PF Chang's one because this one just made me laugh. Like this is him just being at his peak Gruden self. Like this is just ridiculous.
The PF Chang's with them?
I have.
You have.
I
Tell
have.
us everything. We want to go to a PF Chang's.
Well, in Oakland,
Yeah.
there's a beautiful PF Chang's. Not in Oakland. It's a fancy part of town. I can't remember what it was called. There's not a normal PF Chang's. It's like the killer PF Chang's. It's like the PF Chang's on steroids.
Okay.
An MD walks in, he sits up there, he's got the same seat, and they know exactly what he wants.
So he doesn't even order. They just bring it.
They pretty much know what he wants. He absolutely is dialed in at PF Chang's. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it's really a hell of a place.
Yeah.
I learned to love it myself.
I learned to love it myself. Yeah, man. I don't do any of these fancy, takeout places that are local. I do the big chains. I do PF Chang's, the Panda Express, man. That's what I'm about.
Here's that fancy part of Oakland, man. I can't remember what it's called.
Okay. I'm down to 2 locations. Now, people corrected Copes yesterday. I told him I think it's Walnut Creek, where he thinks that's the fancy part of Oakland. But I did forget there was a PF Chang's in Emeryville. So maybe that's what he's talking about.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because Walnut Creek's pretty far from Oakland. I don't think.
That's no, because I texted you and I was like, "Is he talking about Walnut Creek? It's nowhere near Oakland."
right.
But then I forgot. Okay, Emeryville, that's close enough. Okay.
He'd probably know. He probably lived out in the East Bay area, right? Like,
Oh, dude, he lived in San Ramon. He lived, I think, pretty close to Danville, and he loved was it Forbes Mill? You remember when he came back as the Raiders head coach that first season? And he was like, "All right, I want to give an invite to all the media out there. We're going to a steakhouse tonight at Forbes Mill. Yeah, in Danville. It's a great steakhouse. Come here, watch the Warriors playoff game, and then we'll kiss." The PR guy goes, "We're not disclosing the location." And then Gruden goes, "No, I just said it. It's Forbes Mill. I'll be there."
It's the thing with these guys that are kind of from like the East Coast. I know he's from like Ohio. But like when you hear guys from Pennsylvania or New York and you hear them talk about places that they love, you always hear that cadence. You always hear that description where they'll talk about a place. Now we went to some spot. I forgot where it was, but it's a hell of a place. It's unbelievable.
No, man,
they
he's
never remember
a fucking
where it
gem.
is. They never remember what the name of the spot is, but they just know that it's a hell of a place. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable, man. Hey, that PF Chang's. Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. I love that Kung Pao chicken, man. Gets me spicy. Gets me
Yeah.
feeling spicy.
My buddy, he's his dad's from Pittsburgh. Friend named Jake. I don't know if you met him at the wedding, but his dad's from Pittsburgh, and everything that he explains, whether it's like a, I don't know, take Wingstop, for example. Like, Steve, have you tried the lemon pepper? Have you tried the lemon pepper wings? They're unbelievable. Unbelievable. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe how good these are.
Wait. Is your friend Mel Kiper Jr.?
No.
I gotta say, I love the lemon pepper wings. They're really good at Buffalo Wild Wings. I prefer everything at
If he sounded like
Wingstop.
Mel Kiper, he'd be like, lemon pepper, not too much spice, a lot of zing, a lot of zest.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
No, he's just, it's unbelievable. And that's just, you always hear that from like the East Coasters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, you know what? Rockin' New Era is right. It sounds a little like Putty from Seinfeld.
Which one's Putty?
What's his name? Fucking Patrick Warburton. The guy was he would like say like the things like, "All right, I'll come back, babe. We'll make out."
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Got to support the team.
Yeah. The Devils.
I lost my fur coat, so now I'm wearing this. It's a Magic 8-ball. You can wear that all the time. All signs point to yes.
Yeah, dude. I there's times where if I need a laugh, I do replay that, just a compilation of him in that hockey episode.
Oh my God, yeah.
What is that? What? On your face? Yeah, I painted it. Painted my face. It's playoffs.
Got to support the team.
Gotta support the team.
But later on in the episode, it's fantastic when she takes off her shirt. They're making out, and she's like, "What's this on you?" Oh, it's a letter D. It's on my chest. I thought I told you no more face painting. That's what I said. No more face painting. And as you can see, this is not my face.
I love how Kramer comes in. It's like, well, you got to support your team.
Yeah, he's the only one that gets it. Yeah. Do we have any? What were the other ones? Oh,
well, I got a couple. I got a couple of more. There's the iced coffee one, which
Yeah.
I'll get to. But I like this one.
Yeah.
I like this one when he starts talking about analytics.
Yes.
No, he's not.
Oh.
Yes! My football! My football! Mine! Bang! I wanted them to go for it the whole time.
That's where the analytical guy goes, hey, Coach Gruden, go for it right here. Go for it. I'm like, okay. We go for it. We get stuffed. I go, hey, fuck you up there, you fucking idiot.
Go Jane.
Also, I'll say this, like with Barstool, I do like the Part of My Take crew, and the guy on the bottom right,
The Jason Kelsey looking dude.
yes, he's a huge Philadelphia sports fan, and nothing has gone right with Philadelphia sports. Whether it's the Sixers, whether it's the Eagles, whether it's the Phillies, they always get to a certain spot in the playoffs, and then they end up losing. And this dude on the bottom right, they found a gem as far as the live streaming stuff. It's like, I know I'm trying not to go off about Gruden here. I'm going on about Barstool, but their live streams, they're just different because you have guys like that.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
He's unreal.
By the way, I believe that's the first time I've ever seen PFT without his glasses on.
Yeah, he stopped wearing them.
Okay,
Yeah.
why is that?
I don't know. It was a whole thing.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, but he's like a big Commanders fan. So
I know I knew that, but I didn't know how he looked without his glasses on. I gotta say, he's got like a little butcher boy look to him, like a Shasky.
You think so?
A little bit, yeah.
Can we do this one more? I'm gonna get the. I don't need.
Oh, the fuck is fantastic off his lips here.
That's where the analytical guy goes, hey, Coach Gruden, go for it right here. Go for it. I'm like, okay. We go for it. We get stuffed. I go, hey, fuck you up there, you fucking idiot.
Go Jane.
Yeah, genius. Look, I don't know. I don't like everyone at Barstool, but I think that was just a genius hire. All right, I need to find the one because he definitely doesn't control his social medias, right? Like, there's no way.
Gruden?
Yeah, there's no way that he's the one that's typing these tweets.
I can't say. I never know when people are actually controlling their own social media accounts.
Yeah, there's something. Hang on.
Okay.
Where's the coffee? Yeah, okay.
I think, did I send that to you or did I not?
I don't know. A few people sent it to me, dude. I had a lot of people
Alright.
send me the Gruden stuff immediately. Like you can
Alright.
imagine who. I mean, it was everyone.
Yeah.
As soon as Gruden got hired, I got you, I got Spadone, I got
Yeah.
my brother, I got this guy Joe Hawks at work. I got them all messaging me. So did you hear about Gruden at Barstool? It's like, yeah. I did. Here we go. All right. So he has never tried iced coffee until he worked.
John's never had iced coffee.
Never had it. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah,
I just drink it hot.
it's like Nick Van Exel.
I've had the same routine for the last 40 years, but I'm gonna try it.
It's like,
You're gonna
yeah, we
try
gotta
iced
try it. All
coffee?
right, we'll try it
I wish
tonight.
it's never like piqued your curiosity.
No, like I go to Starbucks and I stand in line, and I just wish they had a pot for guys like me to get my coffee.
Yeah.
Guys like you to get the iced coffees and the lattes. It's like, no.
1 hour later.
I love it.
It's a totally different.
Totally different.
Vibe.
Yes. I am a big coffee person.
Count me in.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Because at first I was like, Gruden's just like me. He doesn't drink coffee at all. But he's like, nah, I go to Starbucks. I just want a pot of coffee. But like the fact that it's like an iced coffee changes his whole world. It's like it's a whole new. I tell you what, man, this is like a toast explosion. A taste explosion right in my mouth there.
He sips it. He's like, I kind of like that, man.
Yeah.
Wow. I love this vibe.
It's a whole new vibe.
Wow.
Whole new
thing.
vibe.
But like branch out a little bit, John. Get a nice coffee. You don't have to get the regular coffee. Starbucks, I'm not gonna act like they have the best coffee. Their hot coffee sucks. I don't know why he's going to Starbucks all the time.
Dude, a lot of people go to Starbucks.
I know, but their hot coffee's trash.
So you only go to Starbucks for iced coffee?
I go to Starbucks for iced coffee, specifically with the pumpkin spice cream on top of it. Pumpkin cream cold brew.
Yeah, my mom's
Delicious.
been going to Starbucks for years. I've never, I'm not a coffee guy. I've drinking it like a couple times, but she bring me all the time, and she gets some, as Larry David would say, some bullshit drink like a mocha frappuccino, whatever the fuck they call it. No, I've never been a coffee person. Never have and never will, honestly.
Yeah. The thing with and going back to Gruden about Barstool. I mean, I know they have the Barstool Bowl game. Don't be shocked if you see Gruden doing some color commentary.
Yeah, I could see that.
Their broadcast, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be. No, man, you know what? I'm glad that he's back in our lives this way, in a comical way. Cause, it's fun to have him, and it's on formerly Tolbert and Copes, we got a kick out of it. Like we played the nicey stuff all the time. It's hilarious. And I think that you could separate, like you said before, Stephen, what happened in the past, and he's not that, hopefully he's not that guy anymore. But we can all, laugh at how ridiculous he is. And yeah, that's not crazy to me at all. Like coaches, when he says, I've had the same routine for the last 40 years. Yeah. Every head coach in the NFL has a way that they do things on the football field and in life. And he's not going to change that. I remember seeing NFL films as a kid when John Gruden would wake up at 4 a.m. every day and go to the facility and turn the lights on, and he was ready to go work on football. And he's like, yeah, I went to see a lot of doctors, and all the doctors told me this is unhealthy until I found the right doctor that told me, okay, this is all right. And I went with that doctor, and I've been doing it ever since.
It's a whole new vibe.
It's a whole new vibe, man. This iced coffee. Ooh.
Yeah, this guy's going to be nonstop. There's going to be so much retweeted from this dude.
Yeah. No, I know. You thought the Nicey videos were one thing. Like now, I don't even know if he has to do those anymore. Now he's on Barstool. That's a thing of the past.
I think so.
Put in Tyson back. Who do you like more, Drake?
Dave's a troll.
Drake May.
Dave's the one who said Tyson Bijan. I said he doesn't have arms.
That's not me. That's him.
Is that pre-draft or
Drake May is going to be a superstar. Drake May is going to be everything you're looking for. Five star. Badass. He's a horse, man.
I love the zoom in too, because I know they're trying to get Portnoy in the back because he's a Boston guy. But just like you can almost put like a score to that where he's like, Drake May is going to be a star, man. Let me tell you.
That guy's a horse, man. Superstar. He's out on Caleb. Of course he's out on Caleb Williams. Williams paints his nails. He's cried in college on the sideline. Gruden's not going to be a part of it. He's not going to want any of that.
No, I don't think it has to do with that. I don't think Gruden would give two shits about that stuff, honestly.
You don't think that has anything to do with it?
I honestly don't. Really? I think Gruden is such a whore for quarterbacks that he could give two shits what you do.
I disagree.
You think that Gruden wouldn't like Caleb Williams because he paints his nails?
Yes.
If the guy can sling the pill, you don't think that he could care less about that shit?
Well, Caleb Williams has proven he can. That's the thing. He's proven he can.
But it's different. I will say everything was predicated in college on timing, and right now that's thrown off for him. So I'm not saying that he's going to be a bust by any means, but the transition period has been a little more uneasy for him than I thought it was going to be. Like, it's kind of alarming how much he misses throws, and I thought the fumbling was going to be an issue. He hasn't fumbled as much. He gets sacked way too much, though. Like, he had all the time in the world at USC, and now he's just waiting way too long. Way too long.
I mean, it's not even like he had all the time in the world at USC. It's just he'd be able to create something because he had all the time when he'd escape the pocket. But when you escape the pocket in the NFL, you still only have a limited amount of time. You really got to make a decision. Do you want to throw or what are you doing?
Shaking this up.
Oh, thank God.
I was getting really excited about you
I was
talking.
like, what the hell are you doing, man? Watch where you're shaking the hot sauce.
Yeah, I know.
Do that on the camera, damn it.
Sorry. Okay, this is what I'm doing, everybody. This is what I'm doing. Sorry, I'm so nervous. I'm starting a whole new career. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to put my hands.
You ever seen Sons of Anarchy?
No, I haven't.
Oh, there's a character in there early on who literally has like a I don't even know if it's like a disease or like a syndrome or something like that, but basically he has a tick where he has to jerk off like just in front of everybody no matter what, like inside his pants.
Sorry, I think Louis C.K. had that same disease.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Tacky, you know what I'm talking about. Tacky, if you're still here, I know you're.
No, he left. Guy. He left.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, save that one for him next time.
Yeah. Louis C.K. had that.
You can imagine that. He's like, I have a doctor's note. I'm allowed to do this.
But no, dude, Caleb, like, you could see it when he's just running around and scurrying in the pocket. Like, the only guy who could do that nowadays is like Kyler. Kyler Murray is able to do that. He's able to stick behind the line of scrimmage and just run all over the place because for whatever reason, guys can't seem to get to him. Caleb Williams does not have that ability anymore, and I think once he gets that through his head, I think he'll be a very good quarterback. Point being, I do think Gruden looks at that stuff because a lot of people looked at that stuff, and I think Gruden's just like that.
I think that he would bring it up at the meetings. He'd be like, I'll tell you what, man, what's up with the paint and nails? And then Caleb would tell him what it is. He's like, all right, man. Dude, he put up with a lot of shit with Antonio Brown and was willing to have him be his star wide receiver on the football team despite the frostbite feet and the helmet and all that bullshit and him, putting the video of their private conversation online. He did not want to cut him. Well, and Mike Mayock was the one who ultimately said, we got to do this.
It is
true. So I think he would
put
put up with a lot of bullshit.
He did look at Antonio Brown in the first practice and said, we're going to win every game. Like, that's literally what he said in an interview.
He just wants to win, man. I don't think he would care at all about Caleb Williams.
And I do think Drake May is going to be really. I'm not trying to take away from Drake May, but I do think the painted nails had something to do with it, Dirk. I'm still going to stick with it.
Texas win?
I don't know.
Show me the score. Okay.
I don't care about the Longhorns, Derek.
Why not?
No one cares about the Longhorns. They're
you know who does, my friend?
Who?
It's going to be my first question to Kyle Shanahan. So, how about our Longhorns, huh?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I got an in.
They're winning and stuff.
I That's why I need to bring you on. I'm like, hey, I got a guy that could do a really good impression of you. He's like, nah, I don't want to hear it. Fuck
No,
that.
I do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I can't do that, man. I might show my face at a press conference once, which I do. I go to like one a year.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
You know what? I got to be honest. When I went to the one, I'll just now that I'm thinking about it, when I went to that one, I went to one press conference last year. It was the end of season presser.
Okay.
The exit one, the one after
They lost Super Bowl.
Oh, wait a second. It was 2 years ago then. I didn't even go to one last year. Wow. I didn't even go to a press conference last year. It was 2 years ago. Yeah, I go after they lost to the Eagles in the NFC Championship, and I'm just sitting there, and I can't imagine like Kyle Shanahan looking out, seeing all the usual suspects. All right, you got Nick Wagner right there. You got Grant Cohn front and center. You got Cam Inman here. You got Matt Mayoko there. You got Jennifer Lee Chan. You got David Lombardi. You got Matt Barrows. Okay, I'm seeing all the familiar faces. Who's that random guy in the third row who's just sitting there awkwardly with a laptop? Who's this random kid?
Steven.
What?
You really think Kyle Shanahan's thinking about that stuff when he does press conferences?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think he sees familiar faces and he's just waiting to get the hell out of there.
This is true.
Yes.
This is true.
Yes.
I was trying to bring something fun, I thought, but it seemed like everyone was just very on edge that day. So I just kind of sat back.
Fair enough. It was the end of the year press conference, so it was after they lost the NFC Championship game to the Eagles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might have been on edge on that one.
Anything you guys can look back on and think you're proud that happened this season?
If you just showed up looking like yourself, but just asking questions like Harry Carey. Hey, who do you got in the Super Bowl, Kyle? Huh? Chiefs? Eagles? It doesn't really matter, right?
Rihanna's going to be pregnant during the Super Bowl. Your thoughts, Kyle?
Oh,
do you think she'll be a good mom?
All right. Let's pick some games here.
Ugh.
But before I do, I have to own up to my loss last week. So that's what I've been doing under the table here. I've been shaking this hot sauce. All right. You want to do while we pick games, or you want to do it beforehand?
Beforehand. And
So
actually, you know what? While you do that, I got to pull something up because Jesse sent me a really.
God.
It's pretty funny.
You should know this is real punch for me, Steven, because I'm on my way to go see San Jose State play Boise State today and see the running back everybody loves, Ashton Genty,
yeah.
Genty. I'm going to be pooping my pants all day because of this shit.
Do you not like him?
No, dude, he's the real deal. I just don't know how to pronounce his name sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Ashton Genty?
Genty, yeah. I think
Genty,
so.
okay. Yeah, he's him and Travis Hunter are your front runners for Heisman right now.
Genty's sick, dude.
No, he is. That's everybody's like Cowboys. They need a running back. We'll see.
I'm trying to pull up the photo here that we had on the thumbnail. I think it'll work.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go.
Go ahead.
Mmm.
Who you going to the game with?
My little brother and meeting up with our guys, A. Scott and Cody.
Good. I can't seem to figure out how to open it, so never mind.
By the way, shout out what's a new podcast? The Forgotten Sports.
Yeah.
Good shit. Salute, boys.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna do a crossover episode with them in the off season.
Yeah, if we want to talk Sharks or San Jose State or wrestling.
No, what is bullshit?
No, we have to talk about the Forgotten Sports, Derek.
I guess that makes sense. Okay. You mean all the things I won't be able to get to talk about on KMBR?
Forgotten Sports, dude.
All right, we lost Steven. Him and his damn laptop. All right. Let me answer some of these questions you guys have here while Steven figures out what the hell happened. Will hot sauce punishment happen with Copes weekly? I don't know. All right, he's back. Nope, I took him out. Okay, now he's back.
Sorry.
What the hell happened?
I just accidentally hit restart on the Google Chrome. I use Google Chrome as my platform for this.
I need these to break up the heat.
Ew.
By the way,
Jesus.
did you watch Pharrell on the Hot Ones episode?
No.
Man, that guy was too cool for school.
What makes you say that?
Because at first he was just so laid back, and he was like, "Yeah, man, these wings are dope." So yeah, when me and Chad were making beats for the Neptunes, we would lay this down and that down, and then as they went on, he's like, "Dude, I hate you. I hate you for making me do this. This is a once and one time only thing. I'm never doing this again. This is awful." And he was just like, not even angry. He's like, just so chill about it. He's like, "I'm cool with you, but this is ass."
Gotta be honest, Derek. You're not selling this pot. You're not selling this episode very well. That doesn't sound too interesting.
Well, hey, man, I try to watch most of the Hot Ones episodes, but it's usually the celebrities I like, and I like Pharrell.
Yeah. I gotta watch that one.
Yeah, I need to see his not documentary. I guess his biopic whenever that comes out on streaming. By the way, did you see the new trailer for Robbie Williams' Better Man?
I haven't seen a new one. No.
There's a new one. It gets a little more dark and real.
Yeah.
Which is going to be hilarious because it's a monkey.
It is a monkey. Correct.
All right, you want to do these picks?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
And a little thing we call wins, or let me know when you're ready with the music. Wings. Oh, we're changing it up. All right. Steven and I are tied 2-2 because we both picked the same thing with the Commies and Eagles. We both picked the Eagles to win and lay the points, but we took the over, and that did not hit. It was the under. So let's start off with the Raiders. Off the bye week, Gardner Minshew is back, and they're going to Miami. Raiders coming off a bye. Dolphins on a short week after their win against the LA Rams. Raiders almost beat the Dolphins in Miami last year, if you remember. All right, Steven. The Dolphins are 7-point favorites, over under 43.5.
I am going to lay the points with the Dolphins. Tyreek back. He owns the Raiders. And what's the over under again? What'd you have?
43.5.
43.5. I'll take the under.
Yeah, I'm going to go under as well, just because this Dolphins offense is not the same as it was a year ago. I don't know what the deal is with Tyreek Hill and this wrist injury. And the Raiders know how to play this team hard from a year ago with Antonio Pierce. So I'm going to take the Dolphins to win, but I'm going to go with a little Raiders cover.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bold.
All right. Then we go to the Meadowlands, where Anthony Richardson, back at quarterback, takes on the New York Jets. And the Jets are 4-point favorites. 43.5 is your over-under.
I will take the Colts to cover, but I'll take the Jets to win.
Okay.
Yeah, Colts are 7-3 against the spread this year, which is pretty interesting. The Jets have not been as good, especially at home, and these two teams are actually pretty even as far as everything else. So I will take the Colts to cover. I'll take the Jets to win, and give me the over.
Ooh. I'm going with the Jets to win, and I'm laying the points, but I'm going under. These offenses are kind of stuck in the mud. Then we go to New Orleans, where off the bye, the former Saint, Jameis Winston, is back. And it's a pick 'em, really. They're 1-point favorites, the Cleveland Browns. 44.5 is your over-under.
I will take the over, and I will take the Saints to win.
All right. I'm taking the Browns, and I'm going over as well.
Wow, the Brownies.
Yep. Then we got the Minnesota Vikings going to Tennessee, where the Vikings are 6-point favorites, and the over-under is 39.5.
Well, Will Levis is back. I don't really know what to make of the Vikings. They're really better in every facet. But the Titans' defense, I think, is actually kind of good. So I'm going to go under, but I'm also going to lay the points with the Vikings because I don't think the Titans are going to score much either.
I'm going to go under as well. But, man, that game last week was brutal with Sam Darnold throwing 3 interceptions to the Jaguars. You say Jaguars or Jaguars?
I say Jaguars.
Jaguars. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to Jaguar. And I have to be cognizant of how I say Titans. Titans.
That's the only thing. Pronounce the T. Like, it doesn't have to be a Titans.
I know.
Titans.
It's almost like I have to say tight ends. So Titans.
Titans.
Titans. Better?
Titans.
I'm saying it. Titans.
You're saying Titans.
No, Titans. Titans.
What?
Still not the same?
No.
Titans. Titans. Titans.
Okay.
Titans? No, I went back. All right. I'll figure it out one of these days.
Try not to talk about the Titans on your show.
Yeah, thank God we're not in Nashville. All right. I'm going to take the Vikings to win this game, but I don't like the way Sam Darnold's playing lately, so I'm going to go with the Titans to cover. And I got the under. It's going to be a defensive-oriented game. Then we got the LA Rams coming off their stinky performance against the Dolphins, going to New England, but they're still 4.5-point favorites, and the over-under is 43.5.
I will lay the points with the Rams. I think the Patriots can score, so I will take the over as well.
Yep, doing the same thing. Taking the Rams, laying the points, doing the over, the whole shebang. All right. Then we got the Jacksonville Jaguars going to Detroit, where the Lions are 14-point favorites, and the over-under is 46.5. No Trevor Lawrence once again, but also no Sam Laporta for the Lions.
14-point favorites. It started at 12.5, so clearly the money was going in on the Lions there. Because in the pick'em, we're in the same pick'em pool. I did take the Lions to cover that, but 14, 2 touchdowns? Like, God, we see games ending in 12, 13 points all the time. So I'm going to take the Jaguars to cover. I'll take the Lions to win and give me the over.
Look, on paper, that looks like a big number. Sorry, you took the over?
Yeah.
Okay. On paper, that looks like a big number. But in reality, the Lions are a high-flying offense, and they put up 52 points against the Tennessee Titans. And now they have the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, and I don't think Dan Campbell's going to be happy with their performance last week, where Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions. They still won the game, but it was sloppy. So, yeah, I'm taking the Lions, and I'm laying the 14, and I'm going over.
Wow.
Yep. Then we got a good one. Baltimore going to Pittsburgh. Baltimore is 3-point favorites, over under 48.5. My man Mike Tomlin made me laugh this week when he was asked about, you are concerned about Deontay Johnson coming back? And he was like, man, he hasn't really done a lot on tape for me to be concerned, really.
Yeah. He doesn't play a significant enough role for us to pay attention.
Yep.
Take the under. That's going to be my main thing. Take the under. I'm very confident that the under will hit in this game.
Okay.
As far as who will win, God. Steelers at home against the Ravens. They always have Lamar Jackson's number. I think I want to take the Steelers to win.
Ooh, I like it. For right now,
home dogs. I like that. So yeah, I feel really good about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I think the Ravens win this game. I'm gonna lay the points, and I'll go under on that 48.5. Then we go to Chi-Town, Chi-City, the Windy City, as the Green Bay Packers take on the Chicago Bears. The Bears off the bye week, 5.5-point favorites. Bears coming in with a new offensive coordinator, Thomas Brown, I believe. Mm-hmm. And the over-under is 40.5.
Well, this is kind of the same thing as the Dolphins and the Jaguars. I would take it if the number stuck at 6.5. I would have taken the Bears to cover. But I think the Packers can win it big here. So I'm going to lay the points with the Packers. And I'll take I'll take the over. I think it's a small number, 40.5.
I think that things don't improve that much with the Bears. And yes, I love these guys. Ernie too. Derek will take love. You're damn right I am, because the Packers are the better team. So, and they're coming off a bye. So yeah, I'm taking the Bears. I'm taking the Packers. I'm laying the points, but I'm going under on that 40.5. Then we go to Denver, where the Atlanta Falcons take on the Denver Broncos, and for some reason, the Denver Broncos are 2-point favorites, and the over/under is 44.5.
Yeah, I'll take the Falcons to win, and I'll take the over.
Yep, same deal. I don't know why the Broncos will be favored in this game. I know they're playing better.
Wasn't there one game where there's like a confusing line where it's like this team was a favorite, and we're like, why are they the favorite? And then they ended up winning.
It was the Rams and the Bears, and we were like, why are the Bears favored? And they won.
Yeah.
Yep.
Weird.
Vegas, baby. Seattle at San Francisco. DK Metcalf is back. George Kittle, Nick Bosa, and Trent Williams are all questionable, but I gotta believe they're all playing. So Niners are 6.5-point favorites. Over under 47.5.
I still think the Niners are going to win, so I'll lay the points with them. But God, the Seahawks, like, I don't know if you watched any press conferences this week from the Seahawks side.
I actually have not.
But I think they really are taking this whole losing to the 49ers thing personally. I really do. I still think the Niners win. I just think the Seahawks make it a little closer than it's been these past few games, because I think, like, each of these past 5, I think they've lost by, like, 2 possessions. I think there was one where there was like an 8-point disparity or something, but other than that, it's been a 2-possession game every single time. So I think the Seahawks actually cover this time, lay the points with the 49 or have the 49ers win, Seahawks cover, and I will take the under.
Alrighty. I'm gonna go over. I think that the 49ers win this game, and I'll lay the points with the 6.5.
Ernie too, the Seattle center retired. You see that? That was
Connor Williams, right before the game on a Friday. That's huge.
Yep,
that is huge. Great matchup. Is this the week? The Kansas City Chiefs, undefeated at 9-0, take on the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are 2-point favorites. Over under 46.5.
Lay the points with the Bills. Give me the over.
Yep. This is the week. And if we're going to take the Bills seriously, it needs to be now. They have beat the Kansas City Chiefs, I believe, 3 or 4 years in a row in the regular season, but the playoffs is another story. So they got to do it. If we're going to believe in the Bills this time around, that they're going to be the team to dethrone the Chiefs in the AFC, I got to see it. So I'm taking the Bills. I'm laying the points. I'm going to go under, though. I'm going to go under on that 46.5. I think that when these two teams play, the defenses play up. Every now and then they have a shootout, but I don't see this happening right now in the regular season. Then we got the Sunday night game between 2 great quarterbacks. You got Joe Burrow against Justin Herbert, who's a man of many words. And the Chargers are 1.5-point favorites. Over under 47.5.
Oh, God. They're 2.5?
1.5.
1.5. Okay, good. I was like 2.5.
Everybody high five.
God, I think God, the Chargers are rolling, and the Bengals have just been so disappointing, and I have them in the Super Bowl, so every time I'm inclined to take the Bengals, but and there's no home field advantage for the Chargers, but damn it. You know what? Whatever. Give me the Chargers, lay the points with them, and just give me the over.
Alrighty. I'm going to go over, but I think the thing about the Chargers is they have a really good defense, but they have not really played a pass-happy offense yet. So I'm interested to see what happens in this game, and I think, I'm a sucker for a 10-day bye. I'm going with the Bengals to win this game, and I'm going to go over.
Woo-wee.
And then we got a little Texas two-step or a Texas one-step. This analogy sucks. Houston Texans at the Dallas Cowboys. The Texans are 7-point favorites, 42.5. Cooper Rush is your guy until he's not.
I think the Texans know, this has got to be the week. You got to beat their backup quarterback. So lay the points with the Texans, especially in Jerry's world. And I will take the 42. I'll take the under in that.
I'm taking the under as well. I think with the Cowboys getting their brains beaten last week, they're going to show up a little bit, but the Texans, they better win this game. Otherwise, it's getting a little dicey for DeMeco Ryan. It's not like job security or anything, but dude, this team was humming, and now, what the hell?
Right.
And yes, our guy D Papa Raider. Thank you, whoever this guy is. CJ Stroud versus Micah Parsons. Yeah, the little podcast beef over the offseason when they were talking about who's got the best division in football.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, give me the Texans, but take the Cowboys to cover and give me the under.
Can I show you real quick now that we've made the picks? I'm not going to try to pull this up on the screen and do the whole fancy thing.
Real quick though, real quick. What's your point total for the Monday night game? Just so we have a tiebreaker.
Oh yeah, good point. 42. I did. Yeah, give me a 21-10.
So 31.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take 34. All right, what's your picture, Steven? Oh, is this me?
No,
Oh.
This is the thumbnail though on YouTube live.
With
Got
you
me
drinking your
in-
iced coffee?
No, right in the middle of like rubbing my nose.
Oh,
Very unfortunate.
yeah. Maybe you should refrain from doing shit like that, Steven. You gross bastard.
I know. Look at that. That's what's on the damn screen. That's
I know. Take your pick. It's Steven. Pick at his nose. Any pop culture catch up?
For whatever reason, I decided to watch Children of Men because
Ooh. Clive Owen?
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I did.
Okay.
Interesting movie.
I haven't seen it in quite some time. I want to say there was a great sequence in the movie where the camera, it's like a handheld shot and the camera pans around. There's blood spurts on the camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was it was amazing in that sense, the cinematography or whatever, but God, the story is just sad.
Yeah.
In a dystopian world. And the reason I watched it is because like there's a Reddit thread where it's like based on these election results, what movie do you think is the right movie
Oh,
to watch?
Jesus. Don't. No, Steven. God damn it. Don't.
And everyone picked Idiocracy, which I've seen before. Then I also saw Children of Men was highly recommended. So I looked up Children of Men. And God, that's depressing.
Mm.
So I didn't make myself feel any better about the future of the world with that one.
Okay.
It was by 2027 too, which is like right in the
Yeah.
that's when the movie takes place. But I'm not going to think we're in Children of Men by that time. But
I wouldn't say so.
because by that time there'd been 18 years with no child born.
Yeah, I don't think we're going down that route. Idiocracy seems a little more appropriate.
Yeah, it is.
I am one episode away from finishing The Penguin, and I have to say I've done a whole overview of this show. It is really well done. Yeah, like I said, I've said it numerous times. The Colin Farrell character, Penguin, the voice is just ridiculous. But the writing and the acting on the show, I don't know if this show's going to continue on for like a season 2 or whatnot, but it's captivating. It actually was really well done. Don't give it away, Ernie 2. Don't give away the finale. Don't give it away. Although everybody on Twitter already did for me, so I kind of know what's already going to happen. But don't give it away. Don't give it away now.
I'm kind of off Twitter. Like I'm on it.
I need to be lately.
But there's that Blue Sky thing, which
Yeah, what the hell's that?
it's the new social media thing that everyone's kind of sharing. It's basically an old version of Twitter. I think it actually started like within Twitter at first, but then separated itself.
Yeah.
And I mean, you do the same thing, except there's more personalization and there's no ads. So it's a lot.
Yeah,
easier
less
but
Twitter for your boy.
it's just, but it's
social
also
media.
hard to create. Like I've been doing this thing since 2009. You know what I mean? Like that's what I've built through 2009. Now to just start all over, it's a lot harder than it seems.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So wait, do you have to like start a whole new Twitter account?
Basically, yeah.
So Mayoko left X and went to Blue Sky?
Is that what Mayoko did?
Someone the other day told me like Mayoko's on Blue Sky. And I was like, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, and I have no patience for this shit right now.
Yeah. It's a whole new thing. I mean, it's better because, but it's again, it's political because obviously X is Elon Musk's account thing, and I do get a lot of stupid ads that I don't need to see, and also a lot of dumb tweets that I have no care in the world for, but they went viral, and I think a lot of people, like myself, Derek, I tell you, I use the words "fell out of the algorithm" all the time because I did.
Do you?
I fell out of the algorithm, dude. I send a tweet, it gets like 60 people who see it. That never used that's not how it used to be. Because now everyone's like looking at the For You page, and unless you get a tweet that gets hundreds of likes, it's probably not going to go across someone's timeline. It's like,
Yeah.
what's the point of tweeting if no one's going to see it? So,
Well, that shows the point of how ridiculous this all is.
yes, that also shows how unpopular I am. But shout out to the Ernies; they always like it.
Hey, man, hey, they're loyal, and I really, yeah, Ernie's are awesome. All the Opiners are awesome.
Yeah.
All right, before we leave, I just want to make mention on this show. I know I've said it on KMBR, but I just want to say it here. I said my spiel about myself, and I want to give kudos to Greg Silver. Greg is taking over for John Lund, and he will be in on Monday, 10 to 2 with my father. And Greg Silver's been on this show a couple times. He is a brilliant, smart kid, and I can't wait to hear what it sounds like. He is really good at what he does with John Dickinson on Dubs OT, really knowledgeable about the Warriors. This kid's going places, and he has my full support on this. So I cannot wait to hear what he sounds like with my dad.
Yeah, man. I haven't listened to him on air, if I'm honest. Dubs OT is kind of hard because
it's late.
Not always listening to the radio at 10 o'clock at night because I'm pretty much trying to get to sleep. But really happy for the guy. And again, it's not about the quote unquote who deserves it more. And I'm not saying Greg doesn't deserve it at all because he's been putting the work in. But the fact that he's in that spot and they're asking him to do that, and you get the host with your dad,
yeah. Sometimes not a positive.
Yeah, I know.
I will
still.
I will let Greg know right away what he's getting into. And I'll probably get there early on Monday to help him out if things get rough right away, and then just be like, this is don't worry, he's not mad at you or ripping your head off intentionally. He's just leave Moody alone, Greg. Kickers miss kicks, Greg. Relax, young Silva.
Oh boy.
But yeah, can't wait for that. And lastly, before we get out of here, I alluded to the last podcast, but I just want to say who I was talking about last time. I said some people behind the scenes lost their jobs at KMBR, and now it's kind of official, or it is official. Shout out to Creative Tony Ryan. He was the imaging guy for KMBR, and you might know his voice for some of the imaging we did. The spread. Really, really good dude. Helped me out with trying to make a new song for the Murph and Marcus show. Good dude to collaborate with. He will be fine. He's going to do bigger and better things. And to my guy, Danny Dunn, I got emotional talking about him yesterday on the show because he's a sweet kid. He is the nicest kid in the world. No enemies at KMBR. He's sweet and funny. And if anybody saw the video we filmed where Copes is getting flashbacks to the Chiefs and Niners, he was the kid in the studio saying, "Hey, Copes, come here. You gotta see this Kermit guy." And that just made me laugh because it was just so stupid, but it was hilarious to me. So yeah, and Danny has been I'll say this about Danny Dunn. Danny was doing Tolbert and Copes as a producer before I got there. And then I got there, and then he had to go back to doing weekends and nights. And he really should have hated me, but he didn't. And we got along great, and we still will be friends. And I love that guy. And he was a strong supporter of this show. He would tell me all the time, I listen to you and Steven, and that means a lot to me. So shout out to Danny Dunn.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. All right, man. Like I said, hey, it's been a weird, fucked up week. And I've been in my own head, but I'm ready for whatever's next. And Steven, thank you for your kind words. You've been a lot of help to me over the last 2 days.
Yeah.
But we are still going to have this thing, and I can't wait to do both. And still got time. I'm not on the air for another 2 weeks. And this is good practice for me. So thank you to all of you guys, to the Ernie ones, to the Ernies, Ernie 1, Ernie 2, AJ Cruz, Tacky, Who else is in here today? Pat H. I don't think Otis Bird. This imposter Deep Operator. Thank you guys. You really. This is kind of a weird time because while I am happy about what's on the horizon, I also see what's being said about me, and you guys, supporting me, that means a lot. So thank you to the Opiners, and thank you, Stephen. We'll see you guys on Tuesday, as we always say. Or I'm fucking this up already. Stephen, say what you always say.
Pumpkin spice is awesome. That's just our opinion, man.